Hey guys, this is 007 with the 1.83 patch assessment right now. I said this weekend I was going to be releasing this weekend, and I put a little bit, a few bits of news with it, I should say, not information. Technically, from the previous video with the Hunter that I released Veterans Day, this video will be explaining a lot of the stuff. So, first instance was why I was not able to release any videos on the previous weekend, and that's purely down to the fact that it's not the fact that or not the issue that I don't have material. There's plenty of material to work with. The thing is, as was seen with the patch, they had modified the parts and FPE and the research bonuses, so it was like grind heaven when when I was playing that weekend. A lot of fun. I was playing helicopters, playing ground vehicles. It was a lot of fun. So overall, I think we'll start off with the assessment of the parts and FPE, and it's been an astonishing success. Very, very happy with the results of that. I can't honestly believe that it was as much fun as it was. I'm trying to think. I mean, with parts and FPE being fixed, I think the way that they fixed it, they did a really good job. I'm very happy the way the outcome was. I was very skeptical of how it would play out, but they ended up adding a bonus to it. That was something I didn't talk about. They reduced the cost for the parts and FPE. So what they did is they took the cost and they shoved it on the other things, and they opened the divide, making parts and FPE more incentivized. And I'm curious if they're going to do that with other modules. I really don't think they will, to be honest, but it's a very unique thing to see them do it. You know, it's kind of those things that you just really didn't expect them to do in the game, or you think that they would have the game mechanic authority to break that, commonality within the game. But they did, and so far it's been really nice. A lot of the vehicles that I never had parts and FPE on, it's becoming an instantaneous thing pretty much within 1 or 2 battles, 3 battles maybe. I'm getting it. It's been very nice. I'm trying to think what else there is much to say about the parts and FPE. Nothing really much I can say. Beyond the parts and FPE, the research that they've done, the researching vehicles has been tremendously easier, so I'm very happy for that. They have definitely succeeded in that aspect. People are more apt to grinding in ground forces. That's all I can think of there. Moving on to helicopters. I've got to say, with the addition of the Germans, I'm glad Germany has helicopters now. But I'd rather them add all the other nations. England was very famous for their helicopters in real life. Obviously, they kind of suited the same role. France built all the helicopters. France should have gotten helicopters in the patch. It's a little bit ridiculous, but honestly, I kind of have been running on the theory, and it's been kind of said by a lot of YouTubers as well, United States, Germany, and Russia have been relatively seen as the major nations. And one of the interesting things is, another update in that regard from my end was I had put out a note on the channel about doing a survey, and ultimately I'm still collecting on the survey. I'll probably submit the final results this next weekend, or probably this next weekend. I was thinking Thanksgiving is already upon us. No, we have another week over until that happens. But yeah, it's should be exciting. The survey that I've so far been pushing forward, I can't believe how much feedback I've gotten. So thanks to you if you've saw the link to the survey and filled it out. It's actually painted a really unique picture, and I'm going to dedicate a video specifically to that. But primarily right now, I want to focus on the fact that the biggest issue with helicopters right now, besides the tech tree lack of it in other nations, that's one of my big issues. But the what is helicopter realistic, as people know, I'm not seeing any matches with it. I only probably played about 2 or 3 matches with it, and I only played one in the Americans because that was the only match I could get. Usually, I had friends telling me they've sat there for 45 minutes waiting for a match. It's just, at what point do you stop? It's just really, really bad. And in my opinion, what they did was really poor. I get what Gaijin was trying to do. They were trying to aim for providing more of a coalition. They were trying to bring the NATO character forwards in the game, because it's largely been missing in this game due to the fact that you have Russian tanks and German tanks fighting alongside each other, tanks that were designed to oppose each other during the Cold War, so it just makes no sense. So, in essence, with the helicopter realistic, I don't know if they changed it. I'll look at it after this. We'll look at it quick. Hopefully. I might forget about it, but that's one of the key things that needs to be identified. They need to move the Germans over to the Russians. I'm sorry, but the way it is, it's just the German helicopters, as good as they are, I'm not doubting the greatness of the German helicopters, but right now the Russian helicopters need the members. So 2 nations to oppose the United States nation, because the U.S. ultimately, they have plenty of helicopters in the queue. I think Germany and Russia would definitely balance each other out with the people respectfully grinding their nation. So that should be done. And it might have been already done. I haven't checked. That was one thing when I went in. It just made no sense to me. Why would you give another nation to America when they're the surplus in the queue? That's the issue. Moving on towards the ground forces. To be honest with you, I haven't really seen much in the name of playing and seeing that much improvement. To be honest with you, seeing the T-80 with the new ERA kit, it seems a little bit ridiculous now. I just feel like I can't, it feels like a completely different vehicle than the T-64. I'm not saying in regards to speed, it should technically just be a power plant upgrade, but overall it's been just causing mayhem. And it's been very annoying. But what can you do? But yeah. For air realistic, the only thing I can say is a lot of people, myself included, are getting tired of waiting around for some changes badly needed in the can't say it, within air realistic as its own entity. I've seen a lot of issues. Once again, I've been playing Britain in this game. I've been feeling the heat when it comes to not having good ground strike aircraft. British had really good helicopters for supporting their ground, and I wish they would give, like I said in the video regarding the life and the death of the Hunter, Britain could definitely use a ground support dedicated aircraft that is still capable of doing the fighter supremacy role. People have been advocating, saying that the Vampire, the Venom series do a good job, but those aren't world beater aircraft like the Hunter. The Hunter can provide for itself. It just needs the ability to do ground pounding. It pretty much would be just like the Vautour. And I just don't know what to say. But in other regards, finally we can get to the newest member of the game, ships. And I must say, the way ships have been so far, it's been interesting. I like the play a little bit. It's very unique. It took a while to get used to for me, but I'm just trying to think. The ships are very unique. The Russians I'm still kind of trying to get used to. I'm still warming up to them. In the United States, so far, Germany's been primarily the nation I've been interested in, but I'm surprised we haven't seen Japan. Britain seems like they have really good boats. I can't wait to see their ships release. But ultimately, it'll come to that eventually. Trying to think what else to really say about the ships. It's been very neat to play them. Some of the ships have unique. It's very interesting to see the different firing methods you can select on a ship based on getting used to the torpedoes. I might do a video about comparing it to World of Warships, but I feel like that's a little bit too early. It's just interesting because in most cases you can't really compare the two, but yeah, I don't think there's much really to say beyond that of ships. I'd like to put a full out conclusion on the ships, but I don't have, some of the later ships, and ultimately that's going to hold back my opinion. I'm fully modernized in the regards to aircraft and tank warfare, or ground forces, but anything beyond that, I just can't really draw an opinion to the fullest. I like the early stuff for Germany, like I said. The other countries are a little bit tough to warm up to, but I'm sure they get tremendously better as they move on. That's primarily what I can say about 1.83. Overall, I really do like the patch, but there are still things that definitely need to be fixed. That's definitely the truth. Can't really think anything much more than that. Ultimately, I'm just saying that we need to have, in helicopter realistic, Germany needs to be moved alongside the United States if they haven't already been. Or sorry, Germany needs to be moved alongside Russia. They are currently, to my knowledge, with the United States still. They need to be fixed. Ground forces, we need to see some improvements. I saw they had leaked a list or something like that. There was something going around that they had leaked a list. I'm personally kind of feeling it's going to be a little bit of a hoax, but beyond that, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. But some of the vehicles that they've been mentioning, although I don't think I saw anything on the list that was British, which was really shocking to me. But plans are next weekend to get out the video. I want to do a video on the Type 75. Hopefully get that one out finally. Relatively, from my view in combat, it seems to be doing pretty decently. I'll talk about it more in the video. And then the other thing I can say is that the survey results and what we can draw from them. And I'm not going to say it's a perfect survey because no survey is perfect, but hopefully I can put some of my interpretations out, and you can draw your own interpretations from it. It's a very unique thing. Like I said, I was very excited with the results. There was a lot of stuff that surprised me and a lot of stuff that didn't surprise me, and ultimately we'll break that down. Yep, it's still the same way for helicopters. Yeah. So they need to fix that. Germany needs to go over to the Russians. That stuff needs to get fixed. Ground realistic, we need to see the helicopters for all nations. That will greatly improve the situation for helicopter realistic and for tank realistic. Just needs to be fixed. Air realistic, we need to see some changes for aircraft. We need to see things added, and we need to see them move on. Ships, I guess ships are doing just fine as they are right now. I guess I'll have to keep grinding to get a full conclusion, but ultimately that's all I gotta say. That was my 1.83 patch thoughts. So I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching.